Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at interview question called edit distance. So if interview would ask us to construct a function that accepts two arguments. So we have string 1 and string 2. And in this example, our string 1 is ABC and our string 2 is different, and it's x, a, b, and y. And for this example, we would return 2. So why is that? Because if we want to convert string 1 into string 2, what we would need is to remove x character, a and b stays the same, but y is changed to a c. So there are two changes to two characters. And that's why we return 2. There are two edits to convert string 1 into string 2 or vice versa, right? So you can take a moment to think about how you would solve this. And yeah, we can do it together now. So you could do this with brute force, but because if the string both strings are long, the time space complexity will be quite bad. So the optimal solution would be to use dynamic programming here. And one way of solving this would be just to create our DP matrix or array of arrays. So we have an example here. So we have ABC on the top, and at the columns we have X, A, B, and Y, right? Before we solve this, when we construct DP array, we first create the first row and the first columns automatically, right, for every example. And we need to account for an empty array, right? Also, we see that if we want to construct like an empty string, the number of additions, subtractions, or like it's 0, right? To get from empty string an empty string, it's 0, right? If you want to construct A from an empty string, there's 1 addition, and so forth, right? And it's the same for columns, right? If you want to construct X, A, B, Y from an empty string, the result will be 4. There's 4 edits, right? Cool. So after we're done with constructing first row and first column, we go over each empty cell here, and there's two possibilities what we can do from this cell, right? If the characters, like in this case, are not the same, what we do is we look upward diagonally and left, and we choose the smallest one, right? So we choose the smallest edits from our neighbors and add 1. So this would be 1. Cool. So this is one thing we need to look at. So if the characters are not the same, but if the characters are the same, like in here, like for this cell here, both characters are the same. We have A and A. What we do here, let's just delete this. Okay. So from this example, we can see that we have A and XA. Now, because to convert, let's say we have XA and A, is the same as saying like, yeah, we can just remove both A's and look at what's the smallest edit for the X, right? That's why we look diagonally and just copy the value onto the cell. And that's it. And once we're done with all of the cells here, we can just return the last row and the last column, and that's our answer. And that's basically for all the dynamic programming questions and solutions, is we're basically going through each small step and solving it until we get to the end. Cool. So let's look at the code. Yeah, let's just delete this. So we have string 1, which is ABC, and string 2, which is X, A, B, and Y. And if you print distance, string 1 and string 2, what we should get is results of 2 in this case. Okay. So the first thing we need to construct is our DP array, which we can do like list comprehension. So x for x in range length, we will choose string 1. It doesn't really matter, we could choose string 2 as well. Let's just, and for y, range length string 2, right? Let's just print DP. Okay, so we got our DP now. We see that our first row is not correct because we need to take care of empty strings. So we need to add +1 to both rows and columns here, like this. And if we print it now, yeah. So we have our first row, which is correct. It's increasing, but the columns are not increasing. So it needs to be 0, 1, 2, and so forth. So let's take care of this. For row in range length string or length DP. So DP row, and it always starts with first column. Row, I guess. Let's print it out. So we have our first row, and columns is increasing as well. Yes, cool. Okay. So, and the final thing we need to do is go over each cell, starting from index 1 and so row 1 and column 1 for row in range 1 length DP, column like this, first guy like this. Cool. So we have two cases. If the string characters are the same, we just look diagonally. If not, we choose the minimum number of 3 neighbors. So let's do first, so str1. So because we are starting with index 1, we need to do column -1 here, right? Is the same str2 row -1, like this. And if it is, we just do row becomes what? We look diagonally, so row -1 and column -1 like this. Else DP row column equals, so 1 added plus minimum from DP row -1 we look up like this, and then we need to look diagonally, so it's row -1 column -1, and we need to look left, so 2 like this. So we're looking up diagonally and left. We take minimum from those 3 neighbors +1. Cool. Once we're done, we just return the last row and the last column, right? So if we run this code, we should get 2, right? It's like this. Cool. Let's change XYZ to be ABC, so we should get 0, and we do. And if it's X, YZ, we should get 3, and we should do. So this works. Cool. Hope this helped, and see you guys next time. Bye.